Este es el punto extremo, es un vértice de un continente, el continente americano, y muy cercano a la Antártica. Por lo tanto, en el contexto del cambio climático global, en el contexto del cambio ambiental global, es un punto privilegiado para hacer estudios de línea de base de qué pasa con la biodiversidad, qué pasa con el cambio climático y antes de que ocurra un deterioro en cambio del uso de la tierra. O sea, Chile aquí tiene un laboratorio natural.
Yo diría que uno de los desafíos que tiene esta humanidad se ha construido poniendo al ser humano como su razón de existencia y como centro de la vida y del universo. Pero eso no es así. Nosotros no somos el centro, somos una parte muy importante, pero hay otros centros que son otros seres vivos que nos acompañan y este es un mundo multicéntrico, multiespecie.
We are both track, animals and plants are evolving from a common ancestor. Around 600 million of years ago, the life took these two different pathways. From one side animals, from another side plants. So we have a common background with plants. We underestimated the power of plants for years. For me, plants are very complex organisms. Organisms that are able to communicate, to memorize, to solve problems in a world not different from animals, from the cognitive point of view. They are able of very complex strategies, and it's difficult to understand it, to see them, because normally they are on a much longer scale time. I started to look at plants in this way, now it's almost 20 years. So for me, it's that sensation to be embraced by a group of friends that I was not seeing for a lot of time. You can really feel the life, you can really feel the communication, how they stay together, how they have such a life. So, to survive production, plants distributed on the whole body all the functions that animals concentrate in single organs. So, in other words, plants see with all the body, they hear with all the body, and they also solve problems, memorize and communicate. In every case of changement in the environment, of change in the environment, the first response of animals is move away. In the case of plants cannot move away. So the only possibility for them to survive is to understand, and so to sense that something is changing very early, so that they can adapt their body to that. The dropping of the leaves is just a mechanism that plants evolved to survive winter, to survive cold. How is it possible that the evolution here was so different to have a plant with evergreen with this climate? The strength of the life, that it's all the time surprising us, how the life is able to reproduce themselves in the most difficult situation. If you change your point of view with respect to plants, and you start to look at plants no more as passive organisms, everything changes, everything make a different sense.
And one thing about it that for me was particularly strong was the continual focus on small things, micro things, little things, all of that diversity, all of that wonder of nature that people just crush with their foot without even noticing it.
Yo creo que parte de la soledad que tenemos los seres humanos es que rompimos nuestra relación con nuestra hermandad, con los otros seres vivos. Y al romper esa relación de vínculo, de hermandad, yo creo que nos separamos de la naturaleza y tenemos una carencia existencial.
Even in the most remote parts of the planet, the human impact is so strong. There really is no place now untouched by people.
We, Homo sapiens, have completely transformed the ecosystem that we inherited. America is not the country that Columbus discovered, and in the course of 200 years, the American people have completely transformed the atmosphere, the water, the landscape, the topography. So I think those kind of challenges are ones that we almost take for granted and are ones that we have to look at afresh and think about the kind of footprint we're leaving for future generations. As a journalist, I'm interested in the biodiversity of ideas and how do you preserve, enrich and cultivate ideas that help us deal with the challenges that we face in the future. And so I love the idea of being able to come across people from different disciplines, whether it's paleontologists or climate scientists or genetic scientists or engineers, whose ideas will influence each other.
This is a meeting where it's people thinking about the world in a broad way, and you recognize that your piece of research, your piece of science, what you're trying to contribute, fits into a broader ecology of science and research and community and humanity, and that even as you're working in your little part, it has interactions with other people. And it's been very fun to talk to people about how what they're thinking about the world turns out to be both similar and informing to how I think about the world.
I am deeply convinced that we cannot escape the crisis, the current day crisis, without a big input of human sciences. And the fact that human sciences are present in this expedition is really an incredible advantage. That's really the first time I can see people working in natural sciences with people, philosophers or economists or people from all over the realm of science are together and put a very converging loop on this area.
Lo que yo siento que ha sido algo muy lindo es tomar todos los problemas que cada uno trae de su rutina, de su trabajo, de sus obsesiones, de sus pasiones y traerlo a este lugar neutro.
look here also this gradient of growth, which is perfect, no? Un crescimento apicale, cioè the most you are moving from the base, the longer is the shoot. And this is it's like the opposite. It's the opposite. It's not typical. This is a magic place for, I think, for humanity and for sure for scientists, because it's a peculiar environment that you cannot find in any other place of the world.
I think what we're trying to describe is reality, and we're trying to describe something that allows us to live the world in a better way. But if you look through science, you realize that 5, 10, 20, 100, 200 years ago, what people thought was the truth turns out to be wrong. And so what science is really about is not a set of facts that you learn in a textbook, but science is about a way of thinking about how you understand the world through a certain lens. Do I think that we need to be humble, and do we have to recognize, again, that how we understand the world now is incomplete, and that if we embark on a path, there's possibilities that we unleash things that we can't reverse out of? Absolutely.
The human being is a curious species, and curiosity is one of the motor of our behavior. And I think it's very important to convince people that natural history is beautiful, that you have to look at, that you have to learn, and from that you have to take care of the planet.
¿Qué nos enseña el cabo de horno a los ciudadanos de Chile y del planeta? El conversar con las plantas, el encontrarse con la diversidad de plantas que nos regalan formas, colores, nos hace primero sentirnos muy inmersos en un mundo vital y acompañado. En la calma que nos trae esta naturaleza, en los diálogos que tenemos, pero en los diálogos con los pájaros, con los árboles, volvemos a recuperar un sentido de comunidad que nos trae una salud psicológica, mental y desde ahí física, y una alegría de vivir.
I have great hope that in another 5 or 10 years there will be a different shift, and that shift hopefully will be one which is more in tune with the needs of the 7 billion people on this planet.
When we are saying that we are destroying the planet, it's not true, because we are unable to destroy the life on the planet. What we are able to do is to destroy our own life. So plants will survive us because they are so flexible, so incredibly adaptable, even to new scenario. But our species no.